Thank you guys. Thank you for coming out. It's been such a great night so far. We're going to be playing most of the songs from my album. This is Dual Citizen.
Though well acquainted with this dust bowl, it's heaven that I bust for. Dual citizen, but I got a triple passport. Born in Eastern PA, grown up in the UK, got the flavor of España flowing through my plasma. I'm uprooted, unsuited to the world's home. I'm rerouted, been ruined, tasted of a better fountain. My heart's Cupid, looks stupid, flames running through my blood fluid. He substituted himself, though the overflow of my heart's putrid. I see lucid, bright future, riding the horizon with my eyes on the prize. When I follow behind the one who suffered and died for me, so I give the life I can't keep to gain one that they can't take. It's the only rational choice. Can't you see what is at stake? I'll offer you myself, my inner longings, achievements, and health. Woe to me if I measure blessings by wealth. That's the master that will crush you when you fail. My master crushed himself for me to make a way out of hell.
So the theme behind this album was my upbringing, the way I've grown up as what's called a third culture kid. Someone that is raised outside of their parents' home culture. And that is really what brought Selena and I to Prague 3 years ago, connecting with all the third culture kids here in Prague. Third culture kids, you in the house? Woo! Okay. So this album is really dedicated to you guys. And especially this song, Idiom. It's my idiom. Yeah, it's my idiom. Explain why my sound is singular, idiomatic. Beats and rhymes vernacular, cause erratic are the trends. My aim is that my sound transcends the static. So on the scripture it depends, rather than to lend itself to simply what sounds hot. It's okay to be ourselves, let the falsehood stop, man. When I'm caught in comparison, I take my thoughts captive like a garrison. Execute the flesh, chopping heads like a Saracen. Adamant that God creates and sustains, I submit my will to his, trusted word through the pain. So even if I don't sell a single disc, it gets thrown in dungeons with shackles tight around my wrists. In light of his love, I'm confident it's worth the risk, cause he gave it all for me. So how could I resist? It's my only choice. Moisten my tongue with the water of the word, and obscured I put my voice to work till it's heard. Yeah, that's my idiom. It's just the way that I talk, yo. It's just the way that I talk. Yeah, it's my idiom. That's just the way that I talk, yo. It's my idiom. That's just the way that I talk. Yeah. I'm from the tribe of humanity, write like a scribe for my sanity. Living in the hive without God, it's all vanity. I redirect my search to the pages professed by the prophets, espoused by the sages. Timeless, always retains relevance. Elegance in the style of spirit inspired eloquence. Since we're instruments, I'm the horn of the trumpet. Expound on events like the words of a pundit. Eternally important was that Friday night when the infinite imputed righteousness to the finite. In the process, to the dead gave life, and to the blind gave eyesight. Now through the logos, he redeems todos. So you'll excuse me if hip-hop is my topos. Proud to be unique, como yo, there's muy pocos. The Lord's conduit to portray my own blueprint is incongruent. It's my idiom. That's just the way that I talk, yo. Yeah, it's my idiom. That's just the way that I talk. Yeah, it's my idiom. That's just the way that I talk, yo. Yeah, it's my idiom. That's just the way that I talk. Yeah, yeah. Born and raised with both parents, a godly household. I lived on the mission field, they call this land home. This child speaks different, alternate terminology. Raised to think distinct, our different psychology. Abnormality made me conscious of the fight to define my personality. Construct my own reality. Perhaps I contributed to my musical taste, but even if it's true, I'm not gonna put it to waste. Somehow I know that it's natural. An aspect of that is that the growth will be gradual. And ever since the day that I was given a name, a tapestry of events was woven for me to carry the flame. Inspiration in the brain, I'm stimulated to etch. I see a picture in my mind, what I write is a sketch. These musical tones embedded in my bones, homes grows too deep for words. In my chromosomes you find poems. It's my idiom. Yeah, that's just the way that I talk, yo. Yeah, yeah, it's my idiom. That's just the way that I talk. Yeah, it's my idiom. That's just the way that I talk, yo. Yeah, it's my idiom. That's just the way that I talk. Thank you. This next one is called The Sound of Joy. Story. No drugs or violence, I guess it's kinda boring. But then again, it's worth exploring. I bet you can relate to what it means to search for calling. I mean, you tried this, you tried that. Followed every line like you're trying to build a mind map. And yet the letters return to sender feel like playing Elvis records to someone with love you tender. But in your mind, you know there's some design. And if only you could reach it somehow, it would be fine. But breathe in, breathe out. Stress of life got you trying to pull a weave out, and still you devout, living out your faith as you walk under these clouds. Love, you're not alone, this is we now. That's the sound of joy. You hear the sound of joy. Yeah, that's the sound of joy. You're listening to the sound of joy. To the point you see through me, the contents of my heart and what moves me. Those inner scars that I try and cover up, didn't know there was an enemy undercover. Yup, I am what I am, but it's shaped by others. Take on each other's features like we're long-term lovers. But it's not you, it's what you represent. A heaven-sent gift to when pad hits the pen. So even though we never trod the same streets, I praise God that I could ride the same beats. I'm blessed, you gave me a language to get my heart in my chest. That's why I learned to do my grammar, spend my time and invest. So if it's up to me, I'll I'll keep speaking to the day my joints wither and my flesh weakens. Hip-hop, it's hard to think how, but what I do know is you're part of me now. Yeah, that's the sound of joy. You hear the sound of joy. Yeah, that's the sound of joy. You're listening to the sound of joy. Is mad rappers delivering lines like they bad actors, playing characters they mothers wouldn't recognize. A whole host of guys, but in the mirror I wonder what they see. That there's more to self than power, lust, and wealth, or that a gangster is all they'll ever be. Feel like the human side of hip-hop is finally pressing in. Behind the music and thrones we hide it. What began as a childhood adoration, as a man shifts focus in your maturation, still feeling the same love past infatuation. I'm seeing the scars, seeing the stretch marks, seeing how you act when you drunk and in bars. Can I learn to love without conditions? Not overlooking faults, but caring with all wisdom, love. You can speak, oh listen, that's the sound of joy. You hear the sound of joy. Joy, you're listening to the sound of joy. Yeah. Looking for truth in a land of punchlines, listening to beats while standing in lunch lines, thinking of rhymes, communicating thoughts. Most of the time, all of the work comes to naught, but for some reason it's valuable in itself, like a reassuring touch, a gift to my inner self. And yet it's far more. Open the car door, exit to a world that questions what it's all for. Feeling like a square peg in a round world, but happy cause I bought the field and I found pearls. Twirl the pen and let it simmer just a little bit. The pages looking at me like I just offended it, as if to say you need to write. The gift's not yours, work till your faith is sight. And so I must press on, and I don't even know if you'll feel this song, but hey. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, this next song I'm going to share with you guys, it's what you might call my testimony. It's really my story. So, I'm a follower of Jesus. I'm a Christian, and part of what that means is recognizing that without Jesus in your life, you're lost. And there was a time where God had to break into my life. Even though I grew up in a Christian home, there was a time where God had to break into my life and show me, Ian, you're lost without me. And so this is really my story. Born in PA, but grown up in the UK. AKA child who never walked a mile in the shoes of the wild. For a while never smiled, unsure of my identity, but still adopted a style. Retained an American profile plus the accent, but I knew I was different. Never walked through the crowds when innocent, till I caught the enemy's eye. Hurt by the people and friends who never said goodbye. Never did time in a juvenile hall, but a thought and intention, still a product of the fall. In fact, equaling guilt to the worst of them all. Heard the call at the age of 5, but in my heart and mind still conspired to connive. The Lord kept me in those troublesome teens. Growing up with ex-junkies is what kept me clean. But man, I played the edge on the boundary, seeing how far I could push grace till he found me. Profoundly, he saved me and crowned me. The waters would drown me without heat, but thanks to grace it is not so. He kept me in his lens like a paparazzo. Helped me grow and steer me clear of the potholes. My debt is more than platitudes, cause I was wasting away, and he brought me food, appreciation in my attitude. Praise the Lord with my gratitude. Hate the sin you're delivered from. Without repentance we'll never see his kingdom come. Even growing up a Christian I couldn't brag, cause my greatest efforts are the filthy rags. You gotta hate the sin you're delivered from. Without repentance we'll never see his kingdom come. The ever worthy of praise, he was mighty to save. Lost, apart from him my only hope is the grave. On the external, might have had the appearance perseverance is searching for the eternal, but as attested by the words in my journal, my flesh and heart were evil and destined for the infernal. It took a radical, miraculous action to remove a heart of stone is the work of compassion. In a singular fashion, he took my sins upon his back, giving justice satisfaction. I'm not deserving even of a second glance, but he had the grace in my rebellion to grant me a second chance. As I see my life advance, I'm aware of his hand that's guiding me through the expanse. Without the Lord, I wouldn't be just average. Apart from him, my very nature is savage, lost without hope at the end of the tunnel, on a downward spiral, like I'm trapped in a funnel, till he reached from the throne, became flesh and bone, and gave his son as the sacrificial lamb to atone for me, the one who claimed to follow, but in the darkness did things which gave the Father sorrow. Might have never took a life, but I certainly had hate, thoughts filled with lust, lugging spiritual dead weight. In my own opinion, never guilty of big sin, but if judged by the law, I'd infracted the whole thing. Sincerely recognize the depth of my depravity and die in need of you to stop from falling in this gravity. Hate the sin you're delivered from. Without repentance, we'll never see his kingdom come. Even growing up a Christian, I couldn't brag. Here's my greatest efforts, I've been filthy rags. You gotta hate the sin you're delivered from. Without repentance, we'll never see his kingdom come. Forever worthy of praise, he was mighty to save, lost. Apart from him, my only hope is the grave. Apart from him, my only hope is the grave. Thank you, guys. So it makes me sad to say that this is the last event, the last thing that Selena and I are going to be doing here in Prague. We're actually moving in 3 days. So it's kind of an emotional time, and I've been thinking back on these 3 years, and the one thing that so stood out to me is just how much God has shaped us and grown us in these 3 years in ways that we never would have expected. And what I've been realizing is God's more interested in who he's making us to be than just where we are and what we're doing. And we can get so lost in the things that we miss what he's doing in our lives, in our hearts. So this song is really all about that. This is called Becoming. All my bridges done been burned through when I'm caught here in the middle. My purpose is a riddle, so to call me out like Ritalin, I'm leaning on these little sins, seem insignificant, but they shaping me in increments, the man that I'm becoming. So often wish I wasn't. What does it mean to be a son, a brother and a husband, and know just how to live right, be honorable at midnight, do your duty, know your plan, and lead others with foresight? Can I be weak? Can I let you see I'm vulnerable? That I don't have the answers, I'm not an oracle. I know it's horribles that make you look away, or can you find the heart to stay? Let's steal away and pray together for a minute. I'm asking for acceptance, I'm a work that is half finished, and in order to be shaped, I know at points I'll be diminished, for the character of Christ in this clay to be distinguished. This is my becoming. Make my mark on the world without it marking me, but pride will set me up for a fall, just like an autumn leaf. I'm trying to be deceased, dead to the world, so it could never rob my peace, and deaf to the words of ones my pride would like to please. An audience of one, the one who died to call me son, the one who set off on the road and looked at me to bid me come. That's the journey that my heart's on, the daily I embark on. The here my Lord send me would be my swan song, but Samsonite and Swanson, man, so often I've been way off, manipulate like Madoff, eyes running wild wild in the street like kids with days off. Ask me what I'm made of. Am I just a bag of tricks? Acting like I'm 5 or 6, crying to be picked. Stomp my feet and throw my toys, making sure you hear the noise to show you my displeasure. You messing with my leisure. Father God, you're judging the heart. Show me how life is measured. This is my becoming. At times it's unbecoming. This is my becoming. At times it's unbecoming. Let him see the importance and grandeur of your endeavors. They better know you're busy, you're doing stuff that matters. You never get to sleep. Last week you had 3 hours. Of course you're humble, it ain't about the power. But when the teacher visits, you too busy building towers. Busybody, you too busy for the rabble. Build a city to the Lord on the map. They call it Babel. It's not me though, I'm holding to the credo. Surely I'm above reproach, never incognito. Strive to do my duties, I'm doing what's expected. I'm paid up on my tax, what's the deal with this inspection? I thought whatever's left was down to my discretion. Now you say I'm supposed to die? How's that different from oppression? Just then I caught the master's eye in my direction. He said nothing that doesn't die can have a resurrection. Sing it with me. This is my becoming. It's unbecoming. This is my becoming. From the man I wish I wasn't. This is my becoming. I am the beloved. Just then I caught the master's eye in my direction. He said nothing that doesn't die can have a resurrection. Thank you. Okay, this next one we're going to play is called Familiar Thorn. I leave my soul on these lines. It's my blood, my life. I give it to you unpasteurized and unadorned. You hear it whole, but it was suffering that gave it form and thus produced in candor. I must refuse to pander, though myself like all else feels like it's Alexander. The grandeur hidden from a Philistine. I sleeping through the opus and focus with held esteem dies in my chest. Grasp for recognition, it's a fool's game, I'm blessed. Ingest the words of approval, pray for removal of this leech. Feed me, the ego's hungry. It's a pit that's greedy, never quenched. You see, I died just today, you can sniff the stench, but I'm busy being cleaned, it was well entrenched. Every breath I use infused with death, cause only if I die first can I resurrect. Yeah, it's our familiar thorn. That old familiar thorn. Yeah, it's our familiar thorn. That old familiar thorn. Searching for heroes and dollar zeros among De Niro's. Our faces scarred and even good fellas come Pacinos. So little friends, so many foes are searching for some wholeness. Infants learn to pass the buck and never take the onus. Say corporations own us, but stepping on necks and heads so we can grab a bonus. Seems like the ground of being disowned us, and so we're homeless. Knowing neither who we are, nor the place we're going. Mist-driven by the storm. Pathetic fallacy, conquering the galaxy when we can't even conquer me. It's malady inside, might change facade, but Jekyll can't hide from Hyde. It's ourself that destroys and voids the work of years and tears and blood. A legacy of failed attempts and vain hopes. Looking back, they turn to fossils, cliche tropes. Philosophy which fails to account for sin in me is dead broke. It's our familiar thorn. That old familiar thorn. Yeah, it's our familiar thorn. That old familiar thorn. Familiar thorn, yeah, that old familiar thorn. It's our familiar thorn. That old familiar thorn. It's our familiar thorn. That old familiar thorn. It's our familiar thorn. Our familiar thorn. Give it up for the band one time. This is a lot of fun. Anyone who writes knows that thing called writer's block. If you write, you also know that writing is kind of the best medicine. You can just be totally honest with the page, right? And that's kind of what this next song is about. It's called Fluid. Through it, that's when the pen is fluid. Spitting out verbal vomit like there's nothing to it. Hard to get my muses, inspiration juices. But then again, I don't make time, I must be there for music. Fully present habit, back once again an avid. But when I'm willing, more like shooting blank, impotent rabbit. But shut up, no excuses, end of day, they are useless. Let the graphite hit the page and keep it simple, stupid. Don't make it convoluted. Always cooking up your thoughts and never taste what's brewing. And yet the effort's truant, it's something incongruent. If the giver gave you gifts, then gratitude's pursuing. Just be a faithful student. Don't stop, just keep on at it. Only what's dead is static. Preach to myself these words and try to make each one emphatic. So with each pen stroke, I persevere and invoke the me I'd wish I'd be. The way things ought to be. Drip, drop, sing with me. Drip, drop, drip. And I need you guys to clap. Here we go. Clap, 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 clap. Drip, drop. Drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip. See when my heart stay fluid, my heart stay fluid. Is it a mere indulgence? These words on a page of vain abundance, an avenue to self-aggrandize and thus repugnant? Do these scribbles dress me in the emperor's clothes? A finely spun lie which the light will expose, impose my own will on a helpless page, ready to bear all and release my rage. Cause it's a silent victim, ready to take my scratches and lashes and mindless hitting. Without a word to contradict it, always takes what's given. In truth, that's why I love you. You hear as if there's no one else who ever thought or saw or witnessed what I scrawl upon you. Honest to God, that's the freedom that you offer. Words without a filter that a better self would proffer. By which I mean the masked one, the masquerade so handsome on the stage of planet Earth, but backstage is throwing tantrums. Even though that one is ransom, he's haunted by the phantom of the one whose flesh was crucified and left to be abandoned. Drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip. See when my heart stay fluid, my heart stay fluid. Drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip. See when my heart stay fluid, my heart stay fluid. Better out than in, huh? You sure? Sometimes the truth is ugly, it's sickly, no cure except for liquidation. Imprisoned thoughts within the page when they're bound within the lines and they consign the condemnation. If they don't respect reality, not the fact of circumstance, but my spiritual normality. The death-resistant seed planted in my personality, that portion of the life the sun lives in actuality. Reigning from the throne, farther to the left side, I'm seated with him there in a robe washed in peroxide, but inhabiting the soil, this groaning with the longing for redemption to unfoil, where the outcome is superlative, renewal of creation when we imagine is conservative, but here the pain's affirmative. So I don't deny the facts, but there's a higher truth that lives in me, withstands and counteracts. Not writing words, he is the word, so my words are offer back, so my words are offer back. Drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip. See when my heart stay fluid, my heart stay fluid. Drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip. See when my heart stay fluid, my heart stay fluid. Yeah. Drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip. See when my heart stay fluid, my heart stays fluid. Drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip. See when my heart stay fluid, my heart stay fluid. Good job, guys. Thank you. This next one was written at a time when a friend of mine, someone I looked to really as a mentor, as a believer, as a rapper, who was a missionary, he was a theologian, all sorts of stuff, and one day he just kind of completely abandoned his faith. And yeah, I kind of wrote this song from that perspective. This is called Slipping. Slippery slope, dealing with these inner doubts, on your way trying to cope. I mean, is this even really something that I call my own, or just a comfort blanket that I use cause I'm far from home? I've been the distance, done my duty, still feel like a misfit. I hate the smugness of the church, but when I leave I miss it. And if there's doubt in what I mean, well let me get explicit. Feel like I'm caught up in a lie, and you God's complicit. I'm done with this, enough of living to your standards. Just a bunch of hypocrites, cherry picking the commandments. And what is worse is how you living for the cameras, stealing from the poor or making off like some bandits. I'm done with this, enough of man-made religion. Don't need another man to scrutinize how I'm living. I got my God, I got my life, you tell me what I need. Only God can judge me, yeah, I'm finally free. probably seen it. But then again, I kept it hidden so you wouldn't deem it less than adequate and point the finger at the heathen. Yeah, that's me. But you'll forgive me for second guessing what I can't see, but told by faith to receive. If it don't match my head and my heart, why should I believe? Can you tell me the origins, or is it just falling into line with what you say because you're dominant? The arrogance is obvious. Sugarcoat your God cause his real face is ominous. Then point us to his son cause the father is harmonious. Murder, genocide, but you're telling me he's marvelous? I'll use my brain, thank you very much. You're skipping over logic like cerebral double dutch. I think it's very clear, don't you? Just because 2 billion believe it don't make a lie true. This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper. This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper. World, can you hear me when I'm calling? Feels like the sky's falling. And while we at it, got a bone to pick. I got a story, better listen when I'm telling it. Why did we leave the garden? Did you know the whole time that we'd sin regardless? It's more than harmless. It's more than kinda cruel. I would call it heartless. And where you come off, creating a world that's so sawed off, blowing holes in our hearts, it's all part of your divine plan. Well, let me see if I understand. You're happy to be the man, receive our worship and demand our loyalty. But when it hits the fan, you blame us and bury your head in the sand. Now it's you on the stand, mankind's the jury. Hereby sentenced to death, you will suffer our fury. This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper. This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. This is how the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper. There's an ancient Hebrew proverb that says the fool in his heart says there is no God. And it also says the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. That was slipping. Thank you, guys. Learned, hard and stern. Many times forget mine, let the heart discern. Clouded judgment, I'm unfit, just letting time confirm. With the movement of the hands, watch the calendar turn. Yo, emotions overflow, though I try to take it slow. So for those who in the know, let the spirit take control. Cause the actions of today resonate tomorrow. And at times, the reaction is a painful sorrow. But wait, my heart is most deceptive. So I call the spirit down just to help correct it. But it's collective, my mind, body, and soul the most receptive to his call. Determined not to fall, though an enemy expected, irrespective of his plans to demean my persona. I got a smile on like I'm Lisa the Mona. Tears fall as my heart is broken and educated, but I flip it so his name is spoken and celebrated. Through the ups and downs, be sure to take the blessing, let go of the pain, yo, but never lose the lesson. Though we don't know tomorrow, we gotta seize the moment, smarter and stronger to destroy the opponent. Through the ups and downs, be sure to take the blessing, let go of the pain, yo, but never lose the lesson. Though we don't know tomorrow, we gotta seize the moment, smarter and stronger. Young, dumb but different, thought myself gifted. Thought I'd be found with the wheat when the chaff was sifted. Uplifted by the word I heard, but when tested and observed, often deferred to what my flesh preferred. Now the learning curve resembles a slope. My only hope is to cling to the word that you inspired and wrote. Honestly, I thought I'd have more time to mess around, but when you're busy planning, that's when your life goes down. A wedding gown in my present eyesight, more than before I'd envisioned it with my foresight. Who would have thought when I was acting imbecilic, God would enliven my life's canvas like an artist with acrylic ink, mimicking agape like that. I was swallowing camels, just trying to strain a gnat, man. Looking back, I learned the lessons, correlate the facts, test my character, get ready for attack. Through the ups and downs, be sure to take the blessing. Let go of the pain, yo, but never lose the lesson. Though we don't know tomorrow, we gotta seize the moment. Smarter and stronger to destroy the opponent. Through the ups and downs, be sure to take the blessing. Let go of the pain, yo, but never lose the lesson. Though we don't know tomorrow, we gotta seize the moment. Smarter and stronger. Long time thought I'd forgiven, but the pain lingers longer. Buried beneath tough skin, the anger goes stronger. Takes root, but I bring it to the light. In the truth, in the UV rays, don't take flight from the feeling, but observe God's ways. Example soil, just hearten when I reflect. Wish I could've made a difference. Connect with the spirit, making faith resurrect. Make war with the flesh and keep the nature in check. Retrospect vision, it's 2020. Would've told you put your money in your mouth, so your speech is worth something when it ain't sunny. And speak your heart, don't veil it with attempts to be funny, yo. I'd rather see what's on your mind than a YouTube video. What I learned from the lesson, speak up when your friends half-stepping. Cause less than 100% leaves gaps for the enemy's weapon. Compromising you walk, stay living out what you talk. Be sure to take the blessing, let go of the pain, yo, but never lose the lesson. Though we don't know tomorrow, we gotta seize the moment. Smarter and stronger to destroy the opponent. Through the ups and downs, be sure to take the blessing. Let go of the pain, yo, but never lose the lesson. Smarter and stronger to destroy the opponent. To take the blessing, let go of the pain, yo, but never lose the lesson. Though we don't know tomorrow, we gotta seize the moment. Smarter and stronger to destroy the opponent. Through the ups and downs, be sure to take the blessing. Let go of the pain, yo, but never lose the lesson. Though we don't know tomorrow, we gotta seize the moment. Smarter and stronger to destroy the opponent. Ups and downs, be sure to take the blessing. Let go of the pain, yo, but never lose the lesson. Though we don't know tomorrow, we gotta seize the moment. Smarter and stronger to destroy the opponent. Through the ups and downs, be sure to take the lesson. Let go of the pain, yo, but never lose the lesson. No, we don't know tomorrow, we gotta seize the moment. Smarter and stronger to destroy the opponent. I'd like to invite JQ to the stage. Guys, you have been amazing. This has been so much fun. This is gonna be our last song tonight. This is Anastasis. When it all fell through, had nowhere to run, nobody to turn to. Every hope I had was burned when I came to. Kill the man I said was God couldn't be true. How could everything we said become no? All creation's burning bowl become dough. Kill your body in the place that cold skull engulfed in the dark and the weight of occult. When it's all too much, such a bitterness, soul is degenerate. I turned to my brother over Satan's confederate. The heat turned on and my sin was inveterate. Was the time that we shared all irrelevant? Can I turn it all back if I'm penitent? I gotta get back to my genesis, from this body of decay and the elements. But I'm hopeless without you, I cling to your word. There was glory about you, eternity's light. There was heaven around you, so surely I'm right. There was no way around you. Then again, you said a seed, if it falls, if it stays how it is, it remains all alone. If it dies, then it grows, produces, transforms. Bearing a harvest, a new life is born. It's the story of the butterfly. You died, were buried, but could you rise? Through the very sunrise, visit us and restore our lives. Is Messiah alive? Just this morning I thought for a moment it was all a bad dream. And you walked through the door when my sister burst in, telling us that you told them to come and proclaim that the new dawn had broken. Lift me up, raise me up, raise me up. Anastasis, Anastasis. Lift it up, raise it up, raise it up. Anastasis, this is my Anastasis. Lift me up, raise me up, raise me up. Anastasis, Anastasis. Lift it up, raise it up, raise it up. anastasis. This is my anastasis.
Pokaždý, když to slyším, je to crazy. Umřel za mě, je to láska basic. Každý den jenom posouvám místně. Ta zpráva mi pomáhá, když mám skízy. Ta zpráva mi pomáhá přijímat výzvy. Rozdělme fakta a mýty. Změnil mi život, je pravda, výždí. Jediná smlouva neobsahuje business. Jedinej, co za mě visel na kříži. Jedinej, co může odpustit hříchy. Nutí mě denně se zbavit tý pýchy. Mě vytáhl z krizí, ty život je bez. Ho mám furt v mysli, je pro mě jak kyslík. A když už si myslím, že to mám, tak zjistím, kolik mi chybí, když vidím tu lásku, není třeba vys. Když na něm to vys, o mě vytahuje z toho bahna, ve kterým jsem byl. A kdyby nebylo jeho vzkříšení, nevím, jak bych žil. Je to ta message, co si nepředstavím ani kdybych ani v těch nejhlubších představách, který mám. Je to il, když pluju životem a vím, že bych si to nezasloužil. Když se jdu modlit, aby šly zlý věci pryč, místo toho, abych se zlil, jeho vzkříšení dává smysl. On mě vysvobodil a kdyby všechno šlo pryč, on je ten jedinej, co zbyl. Lift me up, lift me up.
Raise me up, raise me up. Anastasis. Anastasis.
Lift it up, lift it up.
Raise it up, raise it up. Anastasis. This is my anastasis. Lift me up, lift me up. Raise me up, raise me up. Anastasis. Anastasis. Lift it up, lift it up. Raise it up, raise it up.
Anastasis, this is my anastasis.
When you lifted, you drew up, I'm into yourself. When you lifted, you purchased a sonship from hell. When you lifted, created me new. When you lifted, all things were renewed. When you lifted, new power released on the earth. When you lifted, your spirit converted new birth, and the hurt was destined to fade and convert into glory. Death left us armed and inert, end of story. And if you plan to make it all new, the first fruits, first in line among many brothers, was in view. It's far too much to comprehend. It's undue, destined to shape to reflect you. But really, it's a scandal. Only way I'm walking in your shoes is a sandal, loose fitting, off slipping off when it's least fitting. Forgiven and living for a cause that is God's image in your kingdom. Nothing that doesn't die can have a resurrection. So I lay me down at your discretion. Have my will, my life, my very breath. Make me, shape me from this seed you planted in my chest. And to live is Christ, my life is Christ, to die is gain. Though in this world I long, my life and I won't be estranged. The old is dead, the new is come, it cannot be restrained. Just try and stop it. Lift it up, lift it up. Raise it up, raise it up. Anastasis, anastasis. Lift it up, lift it up. Raise it up, raise it up. Anastasis, this is my anastasis. Anastasis. Lift it up, lift it up. Raise it up, raise it up. Anastasis. 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 This is my anastasis. Resurrection. 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 This is my resurrection. 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 This is my resurrection. Anastasis. 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 This is my anastasis. Yeah, yeah. Resurrection. 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 This is my resurrection. Guys, give it up for the band, The Track Inspection.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Make some noise for Neuma.